Hi, this is Trish Barillas, and today we are going to discuss anxiety and IBS. So, what is IBS? IBS is irritable bowel syndrome, and it's something that I definitely suffered from for multiple years, especially when I was growing up. I didn't exactly know that I had IBS. I was treated for a whole bunch of different things, and they thought I had Crohn's disease and all this other stuff. So the one thing that I will say to people, and especially if you do have IBS and you do experience bouts of anxiety, you really have to pay attention to your body. And you have to understand what triggers your body to become, I guess, more so discomforted. So for me, I know that I can have cheese that's cold, but once cheese gets heated and the oils are released, it actually just doesn't work well with my stomach. And these are all things that, are very particular to an individual's needs. So not everybody's IBS looks the same and not everyone's anxiety looks the same. So you really have to keep track of what you're putting into your body, how you are processing it, how you're feeling whilst you're eating, because that's also a really big indicator. Because if you start to get anxious and you have all these thoughts about what that food that you're consuming is going to do to your stomach, it's again a self-fulfilling prophecy. So you're basically going to tell your stomach to not digest the food properly and you're going to have issues. So something that I always make sure is that I have to just be very comfortable with the things that I'm eating. And if people say that I might be picky or I'm boring, I don't care. It has nothing to do with them. It has everything to do with my body. And I know how it operates. So I'm not going to eat something that is going to make me feel like crap, right? And is going to make me sick. So I've now through the years have learned how to deal with my specific type of IBS, and I'm pretty much at this point, I don't even really suffer from it. I also went to a homeopathic doctor here in New York City, and she was fantastic, and she really, really helped me to understand what I was able to digest. There's a series of tests that you can take, and as gross as it sounds, you have to take fecal specimen and collect it for a week and keep it in your fridge. Trust me, it's not as horrific as it sounds. And I have OCD tendencies, so if I could do it, anybody can do it. But this really told me a lot about how my food was digested, how it was processed, and what are the things that I'm lacking. So I do recommend seeing a homeopathic doctor. This is someone that has literally changed my entire digestive system. And I had gone to a bunch of GI specialists. I suffered from ulcers, IBS, and nothing ever really worked until I started going to my homeopathic doctor combined with my acupuncturist, because it's all about soothing your stomach and really trying to make your stomach a happier place with the right bacteria and breakdown. And then for those IBS sufferers, when you travel, which this is one of the worst for me, this is always a trigger. So I worked with my homeopathic doctor, and she had recommended that I have a toolkit. So when I travel, I have this little toolkit that I bring with me, and it's filled of lots of supplements in case I start to feel that I ate something that's not agreeing with my stomach, or if I know that I'm already going to be stressed when I go on a flight or if I'm traveling to a country I've never been before. So she gave me these pills. They're intestinal comfort formula. It's called Mentharil, Mentharil, and it basically coats the stomach so that when you eat, everything isn't going to get very acidic, and I'm not going to have as hard of a time digesting. So it kind of makes the stomach a little bit more relaxed. And then if I eat something that doesn't quite agree with me, or I ate too much, or whatever the situation is, taking oil of oregano pills, or if you take the actual oil and you put it into your mouth in drops, those are also very helpful. And then if you feel like you're getting food poisoning and all of a sudden you're like, wow, I'm just really not feeling well, especially even if you start having the runs and you know that your stomach is definitely out of whack, you can take charcoal pills. And charcoal pills helps to neutralize the stomach. I took my first charcoal pill on Saturday because I had eaten something that didn't agree with me. My stomach was really sick, and I had to end up coming home from the restaurant I was at. And as soon as I took a charcoal pill, it took several hours, but I started to feel so much better. And the next day, it was like nothing had ever happened. So these are just some things that I would highly recommend. But again, I always tell people to cross-reference with your doctors and your team of nutritionists or whoever it is that you see to make sure that the things that I mentioned, or maybe there's something else that you could try that are better fit. But for IBS and anxiety, it really does go hand in hand. And I know that once my stomach goes, it's an instant trigger for the anxiety to come. And you really also have to focus on just staying calm, right? So, and trust me, I'm a work in progress. I literally have to tell myself, okay, every time my stomach doesn't feel well, I'm not having food poisoning. I'm going to survive. And I just have to take some deep breaths, because I'm the one that could make my stomach situation much worse. Not the stomach itself. The stomach probably would have been fine if I had just not thought about it, let it go, ride it out. But those of us that do suffer from anxiety, we start to narrow in, and you go into that catastrophic thinking. Oh my God, I have a parasite. I have God knows what. You could have anything, right? When you have anxiety. So really try to get calm with yourself. And it's almost like just stepping away from those inner thoughts that are so manipulative, and they're so ready to go. They're almost like sitting in a corner in your brain, waiting for something to happen to be like, yep, okay, there it goes, and cue anxiety. You just have to train yourself to not have that knee-jerk reaction. And, we all create these patterns in our brain that, it's almost like, okay, we've done this practice before, so cue in anxiety. It comes right up to stage. It does its thing. And you kind of already think that that's what's going to happen. So it does happen. So you kind of have to rewire yourself and just say, you know what? I need to take a deep breath. I need to take a step back, and I really need to remain calm. It's not the end of the world. I'm just going to let it go. And you just have to train yourself, and you just have to try to slow things down and stop listening to those inner thoughts that are going to try to mess you up at every chance it gets. Just try to step outside of it and just say, okay, my feelings are not facts. Everything's going to be okay. And I'm just going to have to see how this plays out. And then hopefully that will, not aggravate the stomach as much. It'll lessen the anxiety, and you can be well on your way to have a harmonious, gut plus anxiety reaction, which is what we all quite hope for, right? So I hope this helps with anxiety and IBS. And if you have any questions, you can get me on my website. Thanks so much. Ciao.